Welcome to Complete Salty Smart Contract Hacking course. In the last video, we have learned and hacked the fallback contract. So if you haven't watched, I'll link an I button on the description so you guys can follow that. In this video, we're going to learn about Fallout, the contract which is available in Ethernaut, and that's what we're going to manipulate and change the ownership. Okay, so I believe that you have opened up this Ethernaut open Zeppelin applications, and this is the contract we're going to play out. So click on this, and this is the contract we're going to interact with. We are already done with the first one and second one, and this is the third one. Click on this, and here they have given you the instruction that what you have to do. So you have to claim the ownership of the contract, and you can use the remix ID. So this is the contract they have given. Okay, so the very first thing we have to do is we have to get the instant of the contract. So make sure to connect your wallet with this dApp. Okay, so inspect element, and here you will have the console, and here you can see this is the label I am right now, the label address. Now I have to create a instant, so I will click on this get new instant, and it will make a transaction. So just wait, it will, I have to make the confirmations, and it will return me my instant so I can interact with the contract. So just wait, it will arrive very soon. So here I got the instant. Now what I have to do is I have to simply grab all of these code, and I have to get back to the remix ID so we can manipulate that. Simply copy that one and open up your remix ID. This is the entire contract we have simply copy and paste in remix ID. And as I told you in the other two lectures, that the very first thing you have to do when you are auditing the smart contract, that first you have to find out the functions and the variables where we are looking for the honors, because in this the objective of the contract is that we have to manipulate, we have to change the ownership. So right now the owner of the contract is a different address, but we have to make ourselves owner. So the one thing you have to notice in this contract, and that's the biggest thing, because this contract use 6 salty version, and when it's come to the 6 salty version, it has some old features. Right now in salty 8 we have different features. So let me show you the first one. So if I show you the constructor, so in salty 8, this is how we define the constructor. So we give the name of the contract, and we use this constructor keyword, and then we write our code. So this is how we define constructor in 8 version. But in salty 6 version, we define construction like this. So we give the name of the contract, and then we use the function keyword, not the constructor keyword. But here you have to notice one thing, that the name of the contract and the name of the constructor has to be the same. So when you declare any name, and when you declare a function with the same name with the contract, that means it's a constructor. So that's the way of writing constructor in salty 6, and this is the new version. So these are the two things you have to keep in mind. Now what we have to do is we have to get the address of the contract so we can load the instant, and we can check. So let's come back here in Ethernaut, and here we have to get the contract because we have the instance. So we can type simply contract, and we'll say address, and it will give us the address of the contract. So all you have to do is simply grab that address and come back to the remix ID, and I'm going to simply paste the address here because this is what we're going to need right now. So as I told you, that the first point you have to notice that this contract is in the old version, and this is how we declare constructor in the new version, and this is how we declare constructor in the old version. So the name of the contract and the function name, if both are same, that means it's not a normal function, it's a constructor. And that's the thing we have noticed here. So we have to look for something like that. So I simply remove that one, and here we have that one. So as you can see, the name of the contract we have is Fallout, and now you can see that this is the function we have, and it's called Fallout. No, it's not a Fallout, it's fall FAL1 out. So it's actually a normal function, it's not a constructor, because the name of the constructor contract and the name of this function is totally different. It has 1 and it has L, so it's a normal function. But in this function you will notice that we are updating the order, so we have to utilize this function. This is what we have spotted. This is the place where we are updating the honor. Now let's see where else we are updating the honor. So this is the modifier, and here we have the normal function. We are not doing anything in here. Here this is the all location, this is the collect, and this is the normal things. Okay, so we are not doing anything in here. We have built some simple logic, but this is the place where we are updating the honor of the address, honor of the contract. So this is the function we have to utilize. So now what I will do, I'm going to create an interface and I'm going to call this function. So here what I have done, I have created a file by ethernaut.sol and I have taken the version Solidity version 8 and I have created this interface which I'm going to load and I'm going to call the function. You can see this is the function name which this contract has, where it is. This is the contract I'm taking in the interface, and this is the one which I'm going to call it for changing the honor, and this is the function I have created so I can know the honor is changed or not. So let's come here and let's click on this injected provider, and we have to connect the MetaMask, otherwise it will not work. Now let's do one more time. We'll come back here. We'll simply get the address of the contract. We'll paste the address, we have copy, and now let's call this one, and here we got the fallback interface. This is the fallback interface we have got, and we have the honor, we have this one. So if I call this honor, you can see right now the address is this, but now the moment I will call this function, it will update to my address and I will become the owner of this contract. So if I call this fall one out, you will see it will make a transaction, so it will open up my MetaMask and I have to confirm the transaction. So you can see I'll back to remix ID and the transaction is happening. Just wait, the transaction is happening. So it's taking a little bit time, and finally the transaction completed. And if I call this function, honor, you can see I'll become the owner of the contract. So if I come here, now I'm the owner of this contract, so you can easily able to manipulate the data. So if you come here, we have successfully done that. Now if you want to check that whether you have manipulated the data, whether you have got the ownership of the contract, all you have to do is to submit the instance. If you submit that, it will confirm by this transaction and it will return the next level. So just know why this MetaMask is taking so much time. And here you can see the level is completed, and here we got the button go to the next level. So we have successfully changed the owner of the contract. The only thing you have to keep in mind that when you find any code in the old Solidity version, you have to look for the constructor. So it's actually not a constructor, it's a normal function, and its function is allowing us to update the owner. So that's the key point. The whole motive of this tutorial that you have to have a close look to the version which you are utilizing and how you are calling the function in the contract in the old version, because there is a lot of improvement happened in the new version of the smart contract in the new version of Solidity. But in the old version we had a lot of bugs, so right now it's getting updated. So this is one of the problem is there in the Solidity old version. So that's the thing you have to keep in mind. Always look at the version which you are using in the contract and what are the upgrades you are getting in that particular version. That's all you have to know as well. So that's the only thing I want to cover in this video. Hope you guys have got the idea that how this constructor stuff work in the smart contract hacking and how you can manipulate the data using this small bug. Okay, so this looks similar but it's not. It has 1 and this has L, and because of this we can easily able to manipulate the ownership of the contract. So that's the only thing I want to talk about in this video. Hope you guys have got the idea, and if you still have any confusion, any doubt, do let me know in the comment section. I'll definitely try to answer and respond to that. Have a wonderful day. Bye bye.